Good evening and welcome to the State of Business on Art Television. I'm Nishani Pigera. Here are tonight's main stories. IFA President arrives in Sri Lanka on official visit. Tourist arrivals to Sri Lanka up by 19%. Three of the country's top accounting bodies, CA Sri Lanka, CMA Sri Lanka and AAT Sri Lanka, accorded a grand welcome last evening to Rachel Grimes, President of the International Federation of Accountants, who is in the country on a 4-day official visit. Addressing the event, Rachel Grimes noted that the 20th World Congress of Accountants will be held in Sydney in November this year.
Rachel Grimes, who heads the global body for the accountancy profession, was hosted to a grand welcome dinner by the three accounting bodies, which was also attended by top government officials and business leaders. During her stay in Sri Lanka, she will take part in a series of events organized by the three bodies as well as meet with top government officials.
Technology is a real opportunity for us. There has never been a more exciting time to be an accountant than right now. We have the opportunity to grab our future today and run with it. We must be open to change, we must embrace it, we must own it. And I, for one, am very excited about the opportunities that will come our way. That the World Congress of Accounting is going to be held in Sydney in November. You have shown me such a very, very warm welcome today, and I know that will continue over the next few days, and I hope that my city of Sydney, my country of Australia, can reciprocate and that all of you will come to Sydney in November for the World Congress of Accounting. I look forward to welcoming you there.
Addressing the event, President of CMA Sri Lanka, Professor Lakshman Vatawala, noted that in a knowledge-driven world, it is important for the Sri Lankan government to recognise local education institutes.
Although we have received the global recognition, we really have to be recognized by our own people. Because in Sri Lanka, people tend to think that we are inferior quality. But today, I must say that the visit of the President of IFAC has shown that we are above all of them. I think that is indeed a great mark that we have made. We achieved independence in 48, and today on the educational side, I can say that this is the biggest achievement that we have made in the history of Sri Lanka, where three accounting bodies have achieved world recognition. So thank you very much for that support that you have given us, but we have to march in that direction. We have to show and make our young people skilled. We have to make them skilled in order that they can work not only in Sri Lanka but also in other countries. I think many of our 50% of the accountants of Sri Lanka are working overseas. That means that we are really of good quality. But sometimes people think that you put a foreign name that they are the best. I think the government has to open their eyes because they must know how they must recognize, how they should give the right of place to the national bodies. That's the only way that we can really make Sri Lanka a good place.
The State of Business will be back with more news after this short break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching the State of Business. The number of tourist arrivals to Sri Lanka has increased by 19% in June 2018 in comparison to the corresponding month of 2017. The Asia and Pacific regions continue to be the largest source of tourist traffic to Sri Lanka, accounting for 58% of the total traffic received in June 2018. Europe accounted for 28% of the total traffic, America 7%, Middle East 6% and Africa 1%. India, China, United Kingdom, Australia and Germany were Sri Lanka's top 5 international tourist-generating markets in the month of June this year. India was the largest source of tourist traffic to Sri Lanka, with 22% of the total traffic received in June 2018. China accounted for 14% of the total traffic, while United Kingdom, Australia and Germany accounted for 8%, 7% and 4% respectively. In more developments tonight, the second phase of the Death to Dengue campaign was launched in Colombo last evening. The campaign will be taking place on the 28th of July in Colombo.
The first phase of the Death to Dengue campaign was initiated on the 5th and 6th of August 2017. The campaign was headed by the founder and managing director of Power World Gyms and was supported by a number of promoters. The main aim of the campaign is to create awareness among the public about dengue and on how to effectively disrupt dengue outbreaks around the island. Along with the Death to Dengue campaign, an innovative mobile app to combat the spread of dengue was also launched during the event. Speaking at the event, the founder and managing director of Power World Gyms highlighted several initiatives that will be taken in order to control dengue outbreaks.
We have a plan of a few initiatives that we'd like to do. These initiatives have been thought through quite a bit since the last August. The first initiative that we are planning is a rapid response team that needs to be in place. This is where we have vehicles all over Colombo and in the Greater Colombo area positioned, so that when a patient enters the hospital, immediately the information goes to the vehicle and the vehicle goes and treats that area from where the person came, the home, the neighborhood, and does the treating. And that's where we are working with companies, and at this point we have some commitments from several companies that they would give a vehicle for a year. These vehicles will be positioned with people who can treat, and we're looking at 15 such vehicles, about 7 in the CMC area, and the rest of the Greater Colombo area, about 8 vehicles to be positioned. The second initiative is that we are developing a child-friendly leaflet that is to be handed over to every single child in Colombo. We are planning to distribute this to 500 children in the Colombo and suburbs. And we are working, it's in progress, but this will be out very soon, and this campaign will begin. The target date is actually the 28th for the Death to Dengue campaign to take place, where the distribution will begin. The third initiative that we plan is that we start introducing mosquito traps to schools and get the more affluent schools to have some of these traps, so that we can get the parents who are affluent to invest in this. When they see this helping and protecting their school, the message will go on to the parents, and the parents will try to buy some for their home. So if we can get 10 or 20,000 of these traps into the homes in Colombo and suburbs, we believe that there will be a mitigating effect that will take place in our city. The anchor and the most important initiative of all is the Death to Dengue mobile app. This is what's going to bring everything together and will bring about the solution that we believe can come about in disrupting dengue.
Stocks ended on a positive note today. Let's look at the details after this break. Welcome back to the show. Trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The All Share Price Index gained 73.83 points to close at 6,117.86, and the S&P SL20 gained 14.89 points to close at 3,295.69. Turnover was 512.2 million rupees and 10.8 million shares were traded. Up next are the day's foreign exchange rates. And that concludes the show for tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow at the same time. Until then, thank you for watching. Good night.